Okay, back to where we stopped. In the previous section, we used coolant to select the colors that we are using for this design, and those colors are stored in our swatch, and I showed you how to do that using our paint bucket too. And I'm going to turn on my grid, and I'm thinking of putting an obituary logo, so I'm going to move the name C coordinate to the left a little bit, and just there. And for now, we're just going to use something to represent the logo. We may end up changing that at the end of the design. So I'm going to go to my custom shape tool, and now for me to access my custom shape tool, I'll come to my custom shape tool, click on this, and you see this down arrow here, click on it. It's going to display some of the tools. If it's not displayed, you click on this arrow here and you set all and click OK. And every shape that has every custom shape that is on your system will be displayed there. So we may end up using something, but I think I'm going to use this dog paw here to just create some cool effects kind of thing, you know. So I'm going to leave that there. And next I'm going to turn off my grid to see that which I just created. I'm going to drag this down to the header. I'm going to say paw logo, click OK, and I'm going to fold or hide my swatch, hide my grid, and we have these nice paw-like stuff. So and the color we might change or just test out some of the colors we picked initially. So I'm going to double click on that, take this, and you're going to see my color picker tool. Come here, click on this, and so change it to that. So we have our C coordinates team reports looking nice and sexy. Okay, I want these team reports to be on top. So I may just leave like that, and I think creates a nice little effect as if the paw is actually stepping on the logo. So I'm going to reduce this a little bit and take this up. I'm going to commit the change, apply. And now we have the logo section of the site. We turn on our grid to access that. And what we're going to do, we're going to select the C coordinate and the logo paw. Ctrl click, and Ctrl G to group that together, and we'll name this logo. And the idea here, we just created the brand of the site. So the first thing the user may want to know is what site are they dealing with. So this defines the brand, and you can see it spans 40 pixels in width, because we actually divided the total site into 20 pixels. So this is from top to the bottom 40 pixels. So I'll Ctrl Z because I just moved something else. Ctrl Z. So if you're satisfied with the logo, you may click on it and lock it out. And I'm satisfied with the other section, so I'll click on this two layer and lock them. Click on this, click on that, no, click on the first one, lock, click on the second one, lock. Okay, we're going to hide our grid again to see what we come up with. And we're doing pretty good. So I may end up leaving for a moment and taking a look at their sketch, then we'll come back. Okay, just before I leave, I need to do a little change to this. I'll come here, I'll create a layer above that. Mind you, if you want to create a layer beneath this, you're going to hold down your shift key and click on the new layer icon, and your control key, pardon me, Ctrl Z. Hold down your control key, click on the new layer icon, comes beneath, but by default it goes on top. So I'm going to delete this, just create a new one. So just for a remembrance thing. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to white. Sample this color here, change it to white. I'm going to take in my ellipse tool, draw a circle. We just want to create a something like a glowing gradient over the purple. So I'm going to alternate backspace to fill the selection with white. I'm going to commit my change, Ctrl D to deselect, filter to give the gaussian blur, segregation blur, optimization blur. Oh, that's looking crazy though. Yep, I like that. So we're going to knock down the opacity. We may end up taking this above the text layer, and depending on what we want to achieve, so let's test it out. So see, so I'm walking you through the design. I may end up taking this below this, and I want to reduce that to get a little bit focused on the pore. Okay, commit to the change. I mean, increase the fill. And there. So I'll save, Ctrl X to save, and we have a nice looking logo. And I'm going to pause out a little bit, so when I come back, I'll include the nav. Okay, we're back. We're back with our design, and I also want to insert a quick search bar into the design. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to hide this out first, and I'm going to turn in my grids, and I just want a nice search that's going to span about 40 pixels in height. So I want to be at the top right corner, so I'm going to take my rounded rectangular tool. I'm going to set the width, the radius to somewhere about 10. I think 10 is okay, and for now I'm going to use black, and I'm just going to draw over this like this, and you can see the top part is bleeding over our document area. That's what I want, because I want to have only these two corners show in my search bar. And that's that. We have our search bar. So, and I'll hide out my grid again. I'll take this guy above my texture. I'll see we have our search bar with purple color, and it has a stroke around it. I'm going to make the stroke a little bit lighter, and I'm going to turn on my swatch, and I'm going to take that light purple color we selected initially. I'll click OK. I'll move this down a little bit, and I'm going to take this down. I'll reduce the opacity to somewhere about 40. I'll click OK, and I may also want to reduce the fill. I'll cancel this. I also want to reduce the fill of the color, as I now change it to a lighter gray. So I'll take that, and I'll click OK. So the idea I want here, I want to take this guy, I want to make this guy a little bit lighter. So I'm going to make it a little bit transparent. So I'm going to reduce the opacity to somewhere around 50. And the border, the stroke we gave it before was not that good, so I'm going to change this back to, I'm going to take a darker gray. A darker purple. Oh, we end up playing a little trick here. So I was thinking about that. I think this black purple is a little bit good, so I'm going to click OK. Okay. So what I'm going to do with the search bar base, I'm going to duplicate this, Ctrl J, and I'm going to hold down my Alt key as I move a little bit. I'm just going to reduce this guy a little bit. I'm going to hold down my alternate key, Alt and Shift key, and I'm going to put my arrow to this edge. I'm going to move it in a little bit. I'll click OK. And that's not what I really want, so see, we don't get the effect there. So I'm just going to delete this. So I'll just simply Ctrl click on this to bring out selection. Go to my selection. I select on my menu bar, come to select, go to modify, contract by 1 pixel and 1 pixel, click OK. Now we have a good selection, so I'm going to fill that with any color. So I'm going to alternate backspace. Before I alternate backspace, I have to create a new layout on the backspace, and yes, we have the layer field with that color. Ctrl D to move our selection. So we're going to give that guy border. So we're going to go to stroke, and I want to choose a lighter color. So I want something like really light. Take that to 1 pixel. Choose the opacity to somewhere around 15. And let me take this guy's opacity down also. And I'm going to zoom out for you to see the effect. And I think our search is a little bit too wide. So let me go back there and I'll select both layer, and I'm going to hold down my Alt Shift key and just reduce these to perspective. Not really perspective, just to reduce this a little bit. And I think that's small enough. So I'm going to go back to my document, enlarge this a little bit, turn on my grid. Oh, let's zoom out a little bit first. And now it's not properly aligned, so we want to align that with our space bar. So we hit the space bar a little bit, bringing it to the edge. You see we're moving only one layer, which is wrong, so I'll Ctrl Z and make sure both layers are selected, and I'll move them a little bit to the edge, and I'll turn off my grid, and there we have an allocation for our search bar. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the rectangular tool and I'm going to draw in a box within this section. So I'm going to make this here, and I'm going to fill this guy white, and I'm going to take out the stroke. So take out, go back, make sure that layer, click on the stroke, drag to the recycle bin. That's going to remove the stroke. And next thing you want to take out the gradient file layer, take the recycle bin, and that's going to take it out. And there we have a nice search. And we can also take this and make it the color of the background, make it as if it's standing out. But I don't really like that. I don't like that. So I'm going to try out some of the colors and see the one that works best. So I think this guy works a little bit best. So I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to apply a stroke to it, a very light stroke to it, to create a sense of depth. And it's going to be a dark stroke. So I'm going to click on the sample the color from the background, purple, and I'm going to knock the opacity to 50. And look at this, you can see that slight stroke around the search input tag. So next I'm going to do, select my cursor, and I'm going to set this to Arial Vandana. So let's use Vandana. I think that would be a very good one to use. So I have time to search this. I'm just going to type it in, and that's it. So come here, click, insert our text, set the color to white. Or let's start playing with our colors. We'll select the first one and type search. Because that is not much readable, I think it's best to set the color to white to make it stand out. And commit, and I'll take that in, align it properly. Ctrl save, Ctrl X to save, and we'll zoom out. Now we have a nice head. Okay. I was thinking about using purple for the background, light purple. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to order my layers, make sure they are where they are supposed to be. So I'm going to take this guy, drag them down. I'm going to select one, Control click to select, Control click to select, and Control G to go. I'll call this our search. And when I click on this, you see it disappears and it's back. We have our textures and everything's looking good. Okay, I'm going to click on the background, the main background layer, and I'm going to create a layer above that, and I'm going to fill that guy with purple. No? Okay, I think I'll go the other way. I'll delete this out. I'll take my rectangular tool and make sure I set to this purple. So I'll go back to my swatch and select this purple here, and I'm going to go to my rectangular tool. I'm just going to draw a rectangle above this or below this, which whatever word you want to use, it will be okay. So I'm going to draw this, and I'll commit the change, and you can see that we have this our effect spilling over to our page. So I'm going to add my swatch so I can see my layer completely, and I need to unlock the header layer first because I'm going to make use of it, along the text layer also because I want to make use of it. So I'm going to control click on the header layer to bring out selection of the head only. So I'm going to commit this change first, control click, and now we have a selection. And now we're going to go to texture, and I'm going to click on max, and met with max, it's going to take out this extra effect from the background. And now you can see we don't have that texture spilling all over our page, and I think we're doing really good. So I'm going to control X to save, and now you have this max on the header. So we're going to take this up a little bit and take that back down. Okay, we want a stroke on this, so we're going to apply stroke because we want the border, and I want to use this border to create depth. So let's try dark purple first to see the effects, and click on OK, and yeah, that's nice. So now we've gone this far for the page. So I'll save, I'll take my text tool, and I may open up my search, and I think I may just enter a little text there, like some search or something. As a search, articles, and I'll control plus to zoom, control space bar plus. Okay, from the zoom on the particular area, hold down my control space bar, click, and now you see we have that border we applied, and everything is looking cool. So I'm going to align this guy properly. And one thing to have turned on when you're working in Photoshop, especially design for site, you want to show guidelines, smart guides. So I'm going to turn on my smart guides, and sometimes when you're moving things, the smart guides can help you align them properly. You can see the smart guides are actually coming into effect here, and the top is properly aligned, the bottom is properly aligned, so they are properly aligned. Yeah, that's nice. So zoom out. I'm gonna get this, and I might turn this to let's try italics. Yeah, it's looking good. And I'm going to remove the search. I'm just going to leave in articles. I create a good space there, and just after that I'm going to drop in, yeah, so that's it, articles. I'm going to zoom out, and yes, okay, that's good enough for now. The next thing I want to do is, next I'm going to be working on is the navigations of the site. And weirdly enough, I have like 109 ideas running through my head on what to do with the navigation, and I've not actually settled on anyone yet, and it's just been crazy stuff. So since this is going to be a new site, so the first thing I may want to do is through the search, I may log that in. but I'm not liking the stroke around this inner input tag, so I'm going to reduce the opacity of that stroke just a little bit lower than 50. Oh, sorry, oops. I'm going to reduce this a little bit lower than 50 because I just want a slight transition, not too much, but a slight transition. Yeah, I think that's good. So I'm going to lock my search. I'm going to click on the padlock icon and it's locked. So if it's locked, it cannot be moved. So I'm going to click on Ctrl Z to put that back in place. And I'll lock that guy. Lock this guy. And this guy is supposed to be with the logo. So we lock that guy. We'll lock this guy also. And we may end up I just want to do a quick test of something, so please, I told you that I'm going to do this from beginning to end, so I'm going to reorder that search and search is taken to the bottom. Yes, article is taken to the bottom, so I'm going to drag it back to the top so it becomes visible. Then I'll lock the group. Okay, I have my grids, and now back to our design. My plan initially was to test out something, but okay, we're going to try out a very simple navigation. If it doesn't work, we're going to change it, and we're going to keep trying the navigation until we get exactly what we want. I'm sorry this tutorial is going to take this long. It may sound very big, but please do bear with me. I'm taking the design from scratch, rough idea. So I'm giving you a feel of what it is to be a designer, especially when you're doing a job. So the navigation they gave me from the sketch were home, contact, about us, location, and FQA. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a layer above my, I'm going to create a group above my background layer, and I'm going to rename that to navigation, and I'll click OK. And within that group, I'm going to create a new layer. I'll say nav. Oops, cancel. And to bring out, rename this, you just double click on the text beside the layer icon. So I'll name that nav. And I'll come here and I'll click. And that converts my layer to a navigation layer. I'll say home. And funny enough, you can see the layer is not displaying, so I'm going to commit my change first, and I'm going to drag my navigation above virtually almost everything on my header, and that brings it on top. So you see we have our home, so we're going to remove the italics from our text. So first of all, we need to select our text, commit the change to normal or regular, and go back to our text. And okay, we have our home, we have our, okay, am I going to space this? I wrote home, I'm going to eat the space bar like 5 times. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 is too much. Let me just take back 2 spaces, 1 2. So we're using 10, so I'm going to type out contact, and I'm just going to hold on. I'm going to select from here to the contact, copy, click in front of the contact, paste, Ctrl V, rename this guy, select it and rename that guy to about us. I'm going to delete that to say about us. And to zoom on this, hold down my space bar. Why isn't it coming up? Okay. About us. And I'm gonna hit my space bar, my backspace. Okay. Control V again. And I'm gonna type in FAQ. Okay, and the final design, the navigations may change, but I'm just making use with what they gave me at this point in time. So we're going to bump up the text a little bit to make it a little bit bigger for navigation. So we have rugged text message. Okay, I'm going to zoom out. And I'm just playing around with the navigation to see where it's going to be looking good. And I'm not really that feeling much. I'm not feeling the navigation at all. So I'm going to make a little change to this. So what I'm going to do, I want to create a sort of depth to this navigation. So I'm going to take this rectangular tool just below the navigation, and I'm going to hold down my control key, click on the new layer icon, create a new layer below that, and I'm going to drag this. And that fills it in with white. And we're going to change the color to I just pick on that purple first. I'll close this guy out. Sorry, oops. Turn on my swatch and select that guy. So what we're going to do, we're going to hide out the text from navigation first. Don't click on this close. Okay. And I want this guy to have the same effect as the header, the texture. So I'll drag that below the texture. And I'll reduce the opacity a lot. Take it down. And I'll select that again. Reduce the opacity way down, taking it down. And now we have a very good transition. Ctrl Z, and I'll save this. I'll make my nav visible, and well, I think it's far better than what it had initially. So I want this guy to be on the same side, so I'm going to Ctrl 8, select all, select my text layer, and I'll click center to center line, vertically, horizontally. So that's what I want. So Ctrl D to deselect, and there we have it, our navigation. And I think we may still work on this because I'm not really feeling it the way I'm supposed to, so we end up changing the text and stuff like that. So I'm just reducing the concentration of the texture a little bit to see the effect. So I'm going to zoom on this, and I think it's too purple white, too purple and too whitish. So we end up playing with this as we go.